Desmarais Media.
Hi, my name's Aiden Starfang, and whenever I film at any parks, my main goal is to capture the overall quality of the park itself, starting with durability, accessibility, convenience, and most importantly, fun.
So this is the Sunset City Central Park. There used to be a house here. Of course, it's gone now. Okay, so this is Sunset City Central Park. There used to be like a plaque here, like a billboard, but it was an informative billboard talking about the history of the park and the city. I wonder if they moved it over there, because they've moved lots of things that, like, whatever the fuck you call that over there, that platform. That's where they have live shows and music for sunset days. That's the only other time they have that. And that's, of course, the baseball concessions. Of course, it's never open. They don't even ever have games here anymore, because everybody goes to Clinton. They never have games here. Sad but true. And of course, this area is the big RV you've seen. This is where he likes to sleep, Bob the Bum. He likes to park here and sleep. He used to sleep over at EOS Fitness, but I guess they banned his ass. Oh, accessibility. There's a handicap ramp for wheelchair. And if you have motor issues, mobility issues, even if you don't need a wheelchair, but and if anybody remembers, the old city hall was like right around here, and the fire department was like right next door. It was like down that way. Of course, those are gone. That 7-Eleven's gone. Now it's a Mexican place. I've never been there. One of these days I'll review all of the local Mexican places in the Tri-City area and give my opinion on which ones are the best. So over here, accessibility, or not really accessibility, convenience. Okay, accessibility, convenience, entertainment, and location will be number 4. So this is like their little camp. Well, not camp, but a Bowery number 1. I guess it's called a Bowery. We never used to call that, but this is you can have family get-togethers, picnics. Oh, hi, kitty. Hi, kitty. There's a cat right there. Hi, kitty. Yeah, and you can reserve them. Reservations have priority in this facility. No smoking, no vaping. See how old this is a new sign. And because vaping's only been around for how long? 10 years. And it's already sun bleached. Hi, kitty. Meow. She's drinking the water here. So this is like the little kids play area over here. This play set here is old. Super old. In fact, the last time I was really here, this right here wasn't additional parking. They turned that into additional parking. I just now noticed that. This was a tennis court. Or maybe it was basketball and they moved it. But they had the high fences like all, and you can see it if you look. They have the fences right here, and sometimes for PE they'd send us out here to play tennis or whatever the hell. And I think they did move those basketball hoops, unless those are the ones that were down that way by the horse corral or whatever. Yeah, because there's the light management box, and I think that just controls the lights that are here. You'd have absolutely no reason to use it now. Zero reason. Yeah, and these hoops are old, so that's look how old these are. The old ones. I think these ones were down there. I think so. And quality, durability. Which durability is the same thing as quality, or it can be. It's gonna dock some points. Remember, it's on a scale of out of 5. And I think the school line is like somewhere around here, so we have to be careful not to walk like on school property while class is in session, because... So, I'm gonna get a picture of the sign that they've got. Yeah. Right here. Central Park, Upper Diamond. Sponsored by Pepsi, Mountain Dew. Well, it's got Mountain Dew. I guess Mountain Dew is a Pepsi product. And they never have baseball games here. I don't even think for gym, for PE, they play baseball anymore. I guess it's triggering. And I don't know what you call this thing here, an amphitheater or just a stage. I mean, it's not really like... If you look at it, it's level with the rest of the field. It's like not whatchamacallit, it's not raised, so it's not really, I guess it's a stage, but it's not a platform, because platforms are raised. And there's a carabiner with a hook so they can cover it, but I've never seen anybody using this outside of the sunset days. And they've got steps going. I mean, it's a nice little thing. It was built in the last, decade? But it's like it's not ever being used. I wonder if... That's their other diamond. Never used. No one ever... I never see anyone playing baseball out here, ever. Oh, those are those. Those... basketball hoops are actually newer than those ones up there. I didn't really, I moved too quickly to show you, but that big toy right there is missing a section of the plastic wall or fence, so that's minus points in durability and quality. I just want to get the... What time is it? It's only 12:30. Nobody should be getting out of school yet. So, actually, I think the local church or the seminary building uses these basketball. Pays for that to keep that in. Look at that's supposed to be a volleyball court. And volleyball is either infamously played in sand or grass. And over here, what have you got? Gravel and weeds and little stickers, little prickers. And those basketball hoops, since I'm here, because I want to show the condition that they're in, I could already tell from where I was at that they're in better condition. You're like, who is he filming? What's he filming? Yeah, oh, there's a water fountain right there too. Yeah. That one. Not really any rust on it, but the netting is getting damaged. And the backboard is in mint condition, and the base is in mint condition. Look at this one. Because this is all part of the park. People come here, they play here too. Yeah, this one looks like it's been vandalized. And the netting's been pretty much all the way torn off. And this has been vandalized, but the bar, the base is still in, backboard is still in good condition. So these hoops are in good condition. They got a drinking fountain right there. And this is supposed to be volleyball court. I've never seen, in the time I went to school here 25 years ago, I never seen anybody using it. It's all mud. Like, this is like kitty litter. And there's garbage everywhere. It'd be like sending your kids to play out in a polluted beach. I'm gonna walk back here, I don't know. So I wanted to get a close-up of that messed up big toy. How it's missing part of the plastic partition, the wall. Is they just got like a piece of wood slapped over, even cardboard. The city is so fucking cheap. It probably would be cardboard. Or like really cheap press wood. The diamond again. Well, baseball season's about over. So they didn't have any games this whole summer. You know, too little, too late. Oh, gosh. Wow. It's still cold. Amphitheater. I guess I didn't show this little. I'm gonna just edit this when I get home. So it's playing in order. That's like a dog toy. This is new. That wasn't here 10 years ago. Or 20 years ago. But this has all become extra parking. They put like little pergola over there. If you look over here, you can see right there, right here, down here was all part of the old court. Yeah, and then they decided they needed that for, there's that cat again. Hi, kitty. They tore it all down. Now that's what I want to talk about over here. Quality. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Then you get to here. That's not good. So, let's see what's going on. Maybe it's loose. Doesn't feel loose. Oh, they boarded it up. Oh, I think that's why. There's a hole. There's a hole and kids would slide down and get their feet stuck and get cut on the plastic. Okay. You know, they should have replaced it instead of just slapping wood on it. So all of this, it looks surprisingly for 30 plus old because this park equipment was here when I was a kid. It still looks pretty good, but that needs to be replaced. I don't know what's over here, like a community. Oh, that's like horseshoes. It's horseshoes. Okay, I thought it was like a community garden for a second. It's horseshoes. People like bring their dogs out here to let them shit in the... Hi, kitty! She's just watching me. I got 4 horseshoe, whatever you call them, horseshoe boxes. And then of course they replaced the ancient bathroom from the 90s with this newer one, which they got. Does this even have water? It doesn't even have water in it. They either turned the water off for the fall, winter months, or that's like the siren, like the alarm, the old one, because the city hall building and the fire department used to be over here. So that's the whole Central Park of Sunset. There's one more park, and that's over by Doxy, and that's called Rachel Runyon Memorial Park.
So I wanted to talk about Sunset City Central Park, and I know the park no longer exists anymore, but I've been going back through and kind of soft remastering these videos, and I wanted to give an evaluation based on my criteria, which, if we all know, is cleanliness, safety, accessibility, location, and fun. Excuse me. And sometimes durability can be interchangeable with safety. Now, location. This park was located right off of a main busy street, 1800 in Sunset, and it was also located right by Sunset Junior High School, and also by a bunch of houses. So there was no way you weren't going to see it, even though, like, for years it kind of looked like this nestled little gem tucked away, like, in the corner of the city. Like, people knew about it, and they would obviously bring their kids there, and at least, you know, young people would go and hang out there, as we could see with some of the graffiti and destruction and everything. So location for that park gets an A. I don't think it possibly could have gotten any better than that. Now, cleanliness. I don't recall at the time being there, or even in watching the video, that it was really that dirty. My biggest gripe was safety, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I think my biggest complaint was that there was, like, there was a lot of weedage in some parts of the park. Like, it looked like the horseshoe throwing area that was, like, adjacent to the, like, tennis court that's way up back to the side, like the shoulder of the park. So that's going to dock it a bit. Probably... I'm trying to remember, because I remember we used to call that park Ratchet and Ghetto all the time. I'm going to give it a C. Because I can't remember. The park's gone now. I'm going to give it a C. Accessibility. At least from the time that I remember filming there, which was 2021, 2022, which has been quite a few years now, at least almost 5 years or 6 years, there wasn't really much to do unless you were able-bodied. I don't recall there being a dedicated walking track. Maybe I'm wrong. I remember when I went to school there at Sunset Junior, we used to have to walk laps. Sometimes I remember when we had to do remedial gym, like when you fail gym, you go in summer school and you take to make it up. I think that's normally just for 9th grade. I think other grades can do it because it just looks better on your, you know, permanent record or whatever. I don't remember there being a track then, and that was like
from 97 to 2000, and then this recent time, 2021, 2022, I don't remember there being a track. By all means, anybody who does know and has receipts to back it up, please call me out and correct me if I'm wrong. There are swings there that's accessible for, like, really anybody, mostly. I remember there were some benches there. There's an entire area of Boweries, but the thing is that to be really inclusive, and accessibility does mean inclusivity, a dedicated walking trail is nice for people who are kind of slow walkers, older people, kids who just aren't as able-bodied to go and run and play on the monkey bars and hang upside down on the big toy, or even really use the swings. You also need benches. You need benches located along. They don't need to have like a bench every like 5 steps, but it would be nice to have benches located within proximity of, you know, of each other, so people can like sit down, rest, take a break. It's pretty alarming how a lot of modern parks don't do that. Clearfield, since moving here, Clearfield really is on the ball with that. So accessibility gets a C. I'm just gonna straight up give it a C, another C, just like with cleanliness. Now, safety or durability. This is what's really going to separate the parks from the pits. This park, it was a disaster. Now, looking at it in the video, I'm like, oh, it's just a cute little park. It is a cute little park. It was nicer when I would visit it as a kid in the 90s with my friend who lived nearby. We would sneak out of the house early in the morning and go play at the park before anyone else was there. And it was nice back then. There might have been occasional graffiti, maybe some broken bottles in the corner of the you know, the lot or whatever, you know, because teenagers sneak out and they drink or whatever. But I mean, the damage the slide had, it was so bad they had to like board up the entrance so kids couldn't use it. And when you saw in the video, at the foot of the slide, there's these big, huge, gaping holes in it. I mean, at least the city stepped in and did the responsible thing. Hey, we don't want anyone getting stuck in there or hurt or whatever. Just the very fact that that's all they did, that should have been repaired. And I know for a fact it wasn't, because the park is gone now. So they probably didn't see any point in bothering to invest the funds to do that. Which is very disappointing, because the park was only removed, I want to say, in 2023 or 2024. Maybe that, you know, maybe it was too soon. The big 1800 project was happening too soon with the school and with the Hillgate, that they just didn't see it feasible. But it's kind of sad, because, you know, that park was a play place for a lot of kids in Sunset growing up in Davis County. And I you know, for safety, it gets a D. For as long as that park, and let me tell you, that park was not quarantined off, it wasn't gated off, it wasn't fenced off, there wasn't security, it was open for people to use. As long as that was still there, and there was no construction about, and it was just the park itself, it was open for anyone to use. And that is a safety hazard. Granted, yes, they did seal up like the entrance of the slide, but there was other things I've seen. You know, they really needed to have weeded the areas that were creating those like stickers and pricker things. They really needed to sweep up the glass. You know, they really needed to be more vigilant, which they weren't. And it's obvious the council saw zero reason to do that, because in just a few short years the park would be gone, which we have seen come to fruition. So safety gets a D. Now, fun. A park can be a pit but still be fun. This park, if you're a kid, at least if you're a kid who enjoys swings, who enjoys monkey bars, slides, there's tennis, horseshoe, whatever you call it, horseshoe toss, ring toss. There's lots of fun things to do. It's more fun and endearing and rewarding if it is well groomed and maintained, which it was not. But it still was a fun looking park. As an adult going there in 2020 when I filmed there, obviously I'm like not excited to go and do any of those things because I'm not a child anymore. But I could see, you know, my own younger relatives, my own kids going and having fun. So for fun, I'd probably give it, because, you know, I do believe safety and accessibility add into fun, even though they're different criteria. I think for fun, it probably gets a B. And overall, I'd say the overall score, even though it's going to be a decent score, this park probably, because it's got, what, 2 C's, 1 C, an A, a B, maybe 2 B's. It's probably going to get like a C plus or a B minus average for this park. It's a pit. It's the first time this series I've actually said this is a pit, because when I started the series, it was just called Park Inspection Series, and it was, oh, it's a park audit series. And I was like, well, why don't I give it a dedicated name like Parks and Pits? I was like, oh, wow. Because there's places that are like comparing things. If it's a park, it's a park. It's fun. Obviously, people are going to be like, well, it's still a park. Well, yeah, it's still a park, even if it's a pit. But a pit would mean it's probably less safe, less fun, more hazardous, less rewarding than a clean, safe park. So this park is a pit. The final evaluation score grade is a C. Or maybe a C minus. Or no, it was a C plus, lowest, B minus, highest. But I'll go ahead, I'll say it's like a C. It's a pit. I think it would still be fun for people with nostalgia or with little kids, but it's definitely a pit. This is the first park I had filmed. Well, it's the second park I filmed in Sunset. It's the first park that was an official pit. I filmed this park and the John G. White North Park in the same day. And I also need to go back and do this for the John G. White video, because I forgot to add the intro, the ending credits, and the final evaluation. Because obviously I'm using my new criteria. I'm no longer using gold stars or numbers or fractions or tally marks. I'm giving it A, B, C, D, F. And even as bad as Sunset Central Park was, it still held a lot of memories and fun things for people and their kids and families to do. It's sad to see what state it was in when it was ultimately scrapped. You see, it's not, it's not ultimately a failure. It's just what it was. And it's still a park, or it was still a park, and still a fun place for kids. So thank you everyone for watching. I hate to sound like a broken record, but please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more of my park audits, because especially if you're here in Clearfield, Utah, your tax dollars, regardless if you go to the parks, if you're paying taxes, your tax dollars are going to the Parrot Tax Fund, which funds all these things, all these amenities. So it's important that you know where your tax dollars are going to. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.